Hey, how's it going, everybody? It is that time once again where I keep getting asked, what are the best budget guns that I can use to effectively farm all the content in Escape from Tarkov? Well, lads, there's a couple of answers to that, and I have just finished compiling some of the guns there, and I'm going to show them to you guys now. So the first thing I want to get out of the way, guys, if I don't mention your favorite budget gun on this list, please, for the love of God, I probably know it exists. However, I just haven't included it in here for X or Y reason, because maybe it's a gun that I don't like using myself, or it's a gun that I haven't had great success with in the past. But by all means, if it's working for you, great success. Fantastic. Another thing as well that I want to point out very quickly, budget guns can be very, very, very good. Now, the reason why we run budget guns is because we are spending less on the gun, but we are spending more on the ammo, okay? This only applies if you were taking these guns to, let's say, labs or lighthouse or a map where you're bound to run into, you know, visors and stuff like that, okay? So a lot of these guns will be very good with even the most basic of ammo. However, in some cases, I will say, hey, maybe you should run, you know, X or Y. So with all that being said, let's get into it and let's get on to our first gun, and I will explain to you guys why I think this is a great budget gun. So here it is. This is the OPSKS, the budget build. So I put the drum mag in here because if I didn't put the drum mag in there, I wouldn't be able to forgive myself. You can, however, run these with the 20 rounders and you can run them with the 35 rounders. Now, why is the OPSKS so good? It is a semi-automatic 7.62x39 rifle, which can run BP or it can run PS rounds. And lads, PS rounds will pretty much get you through all the content in the game. BP rounds will get you through every piece of content in the game. The reason why the OPSKS is also such an awesome and versatile gun is because you can just, instead of putting an OKP on it, you can put a PSO on it. Or what you can do is you can get like a Cobra mount and you can put whatever optic you want on it. What a lot of people have been doing with the Cobra mount as well is they'll put a rangefinder on it and then they'll put their favorite scope on top. I'll just put an Elcan on there for the moment. And you can use this for sniping people. You can use this for shooter born in heaven. And if it's suppressed as well, and you're a decent bit away, people aren't going to know where the shots are coming from. So this is why the OPSKS is, in my opinion, one of the best budget guns, and probably always will be one of the best budget guns in EFT. You can find them all over the place. Scavs have them. You can stockpile them. They're dirt cheap to buy. And honestly, you really can't go wrong with this gun. If you want to make it even cheaper, you just take the suppressor off it. You want to make it even cheaper? You just put a 20 rounder in it. You know, you want to run it absolutely bare bones, cheapest way possible. Well, all you're going to do is you're just going to grab an OKP. You're going to take all this stuff on and just put an OKP on it. And just like this gun will slay chads, it'll slay bosses, and it'll pretty much do everything in the game. You couldn't really ask for more. So that is my first recommendation. Let's move on to the second. So I got a lot of shit because I have made these videos in the past and I never really mentioned the RFB. However, the RFB is definitely one of the best budget guns in EFT because you can have 20 round mags in it. It runs M80, M61, M62, M993, whatever you want. You can suppress it, you can run it loud, and you can put whatever optic you want on it. The reason why a lot of people don't like the RFB though is because you can't put a tactical device on it. That is pretty much the main reason why some people don't like this gun. However, it is very cheap. You can run whatever optic you want on it. You can run whatever grip you want on it. It'll always run well because it's a semi-automatic 308. It'll kill any boss. It'll kill any player. And it's pretty much decent, medium, long range. You can run at close range if you've got the confidence and you're decent with your point firing. Or you can also just, you know, put like a P1X on it or, you know, whatever 1X optic of choice. And you can just run it like this and just chat out. Use it CQB. Completely up to you. Yeah, it's a great gun and you really just can't go wrong with it. There's pretty much nothing negative to say about the RFB. For whatever reason, I just don't like it. I don't know why that is, but I just have something against this gun. A combination of attachments I often see people running as well is the BMD with the dragon and stuff like that. But this is a great little gun and it always will be one of the best early game guns. You can pretty much use this gun from, you know, whatever level Peacekeeper you unlock it at, all the way up until you're level 62 and get your Kappa container, and it will always be useful. So there it is, lads, the RFB in any configuration that you'd like, suppressed, unsuppressed, long range, close range, up to you. Now, moving on to the next gun, which is honestly one of my favorite guns in EFT of all time, and still nobody ever uses it. This is one of the best SMGs in Tarkov. It is probably the best sidearm that you can bring with you if you're sniping. It is absolutely fantastic. This wipe, maybe not quite as good just because of the availability of AP 6.3 and PvP rounds. You've got to craft them now, and it can take a while to stock up on that ammo. But even running this thing with just PSTs, even leg meta rounds, you will absolutely melt people. So this is the MP9N. Fire rate on it is absolutely insane. It shoots at 1100 rounds per minute. It has very little recoil and very little modding to even do with this gun. You can run it without a suppressor if you want, but if you don't run it with the little adapter thing, you can't put a tactical device on it. So you can just run it like this if you like. It's completely up to you. You can put whatever optic you want on it. Obviously, I'd recommend something close range. You might not want to put something like this on it. That might be a little bit excessive. However, if you're running it with a reasonable optic, this gun is fantastic. I bought this one off the flea market for 16k. 16k, guys! It's so cheap. The suppressor costs more than the whole entire gun. This is a no-brainer. If you just want to kill scavs, perfect. If you want to kill players, pretty much perfect. Unless they have, like, a decent visor on. You can just run it with PSTs. And if you die with it, boo-hoo, you lost 16k. They're probably not even going to take it because the gun is worthless. The MP9N, often slept on by the entire community. Absolutely worth running. If you've never tried it, give it a go. And just to appease everybody out there that's going to say, Tweak, you didn't mention the VRP Hunter. Here it is. The VRP Hunter. Just run it with 10 rounders. For the love of God, do not run it with 5 rounders. 10 rounders is even very low as it is. But here it is, lads. The bane of all the chads out there and the essential god that all the rats worship. This is the VRP Hunter. You can run it with the suppressor if you want. You can run it with the fancy SVD body. You can put whatever on it, lads. You can dress it up whatever way you want. It's still a piece of shit, in my opinion, and it always will be. I hate being killed by this gun. It makes me very upset. But the beauty of it is very much the same as the SKS. You can run it with whatever optics you want on it. You can run it loud. You can run it quiet. You can run it whatever way you like. And it'll still be very, very effective if you end up putting M62s or M61s in it. Even M80s will absolutely clap the cheeks of any chad that crosses your path. While you're sitting in a bush or sitting up on a mountain somewhere on woods, this gun has proven itself over and over again to be a one-tap machine. You can use it to farm rogues. You can use it to farm raiders. You can use it to farm players, scab bosses, killer, anything. Any of the content in the game easily defeated by this super cheap 10-round semi-automatic 308. You might not like it, but it does the job well. So there it is, the VRP Hunter. As much as we all hate being killed by it, still one of the best budget guns in EFT. And last but not least, something that I don't think I've ever really put in a budget gun guide before, other than that one time I mentioned the TOS, which is still very relevant. You will always get your TOSs back in insurance, and provided you're running the right ammo, the gun can actually be pretty decent. But everybody just laughs at it instead. On this list, I've got the MP155. Now, you might be thinking, Twizzler, why? Well, I've got one word for you guys, and that is flechette. Flechette ammo this wipe has been absolutely insane. There is so many people running it, and it is so unbelievably overpowered that I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a nerf to flechette ammo sometime probably in the very near future. So I picked the 155 because it's new. But if you're going to run flechette in this thing, I always recommend taking the 8-rounder. That way you can have 8 in there in the mag, and then you can have 1 in the chamber, giving you 9 shots altogether. However, you can run the 153 as well. You can also run the 133 if you want. You can run the 870 if you want. It is completely up to you. You can run the Saiga with a feckin' drum mag with 20 rounders in it if you like. However, this gun, along with the 153, provided you don't, put a suppressor on it, because if you put a suppressor on it, you're not going to get it back. If you put a nice optic on it, you're probably not going to get it back. So if you run a cheap, shitty optic and you don't even suppress it, or maybe you put like, I don't know, what is it? Do you need this thing? Yeah, you put like a monster claw on the end of it, or a GKO2 or whatever. This gun will cost you nothing to run. And again, it will deal with all the content in the game. You can put AP20s into it. You can put flechette in it. It'll destroy chads. It'll destroy scab bosses. Pretty much, it's a great factory gun. It's a great gun for customs if you've got a lot of stuff to do in dorms. Not sure if I'd recommend it on Lighthouse. Maybe if you're running slugs, sure. But the biggest thing with this gun is that you're more or less always going to get it back in insurance, because who's going to take this from you? You know what I mean? If they run your pockets, they might take your AP-20s and they might take your flechette rounds, but you're not going to be getting those back anyway. So shotguns this wipe are incredibly strong. And if you haven't been using them, you're missing out, because flechette is probably the most broken bullet in Escape from Tarkov right now. Just to show you guys, flechette rounds are sold by Jaeger right here. I'm not sure what level Jaeger is. It level 3? Yeah, level 3 Jaeger, 134 rubles a bullet. You can get 100 of them per reset, and it costs you 13k. 13k. So you just drop the bullet on there. You know, you keep 8 of them in your rig, and then you keep 40 of them up your ass, and it just costs absolutely nothing to run. You cannot go wrong. So that's it, guys. That is all the budget guns that I have for you guys right now. You really can't go wrong. I wanted to make this video because a lot of people have been coming into my chat and asking me, hey Tweak, what budget guns can I use to do this or that or this? And I'm just going to reference them this video because at least it's up to date for patch 12.12. I know, guys, there's a bunch of other budget guns you can get too. If I left out your favorite one, leave a comment down below so maybe somebody reading through the comments can see your favorite gun. And yeah, let me know if I missed anything really obvious. But for me, these couple of guns that I have listed here, you really can't go wrong. They're going to do everything for you, and they'll do everything for you well. Some of them just might require a little bit more patience. You know, the RFB is kind of like a 308 MDR, but without the full auto. So you don't have that oh shit button if somebody pushes you very close, which is what is very nice about the 308 MDR. But it also costs a lot more money to run. So, you know, you pick and choose. Sometimes the budget stuff isn't going to be more effective than the more expensive stuff, but that is the reason why it's budget. So guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, leave a comment down below. Let me know what videos you guys would like to see in the future. Let me know what gun builds you guys like to run. And yeah, make sure to check the link in the description for all the socials, Twitch, Twitter, all that other kind of stuff. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out, my dudes.